What a beautiful shot of the sunset over the Texas prairie. And what a beautiful sight the fans are treated with on the starting line. It is John Brute Force, the most tenacious, the most dedicated, one of the funniest motorsports athletes you'll ever meet. If you've heard his interviews over the years, you know what I mean. And here's a man with the intensity to match Force's desire. Incredible drivers. Brock Yates talked to both of them just before they buckled up.
Well, Cruz, of course, it could be that the championship rides in the balance here right now today. How will that affect the way you run this race?
Well, racing the defending world champion John Force, you know, we're, like you say, this title's probably on the line here, so I'm confident in the car. I'm going to have to pick up the pace as a driver, though. I'm going to have to be more aggressive, and, you know, I've always liked the pressure, and boy, I couldn't ask for more pressure than what I have here in front of me now.
John, with the championship possibly right on the line in a single race, are you going to run it any differently than you might run another final?
Well, you have to, because we're running out of rounds, and we can't wait till Pomona. We need to beat him here if we can, but mainly we need that national record. We really pushed it there to get a 10 just because he ran so good. But we need the record. We need to run a 05 with this thing if we can. Otherwise, you know, I need a miracle at Pomona, and I don't believe in miracles.
Well, let me tell you, Mr. Pedregon is thinking along the same lines. John Force earned 50 bonus points by being low elapsed time of the event so far. If Pedregon can take those away from him, put him in his column, he'll be harder yet to beat in 2 weeks at Pomona. You saw Force already lit and ready. Pedregon's engine comes to life for about 5,000 horsepower apiece, and here is the burnout ritual. Brock Yates, pick it up.
Well, Steve, of course, Force broke the track record here in qualifying with a 5:07 earlier, and as we said earlier, Pedregon lane choice here with a 5:09. So these automobiles, for all intents and purposes, absolutely perfectly matched. So Bob Fry looks like it's going to be one fantastic drag race with the possible championship on the line.
This is the way it ought to be, and this is what everybody came to see here today. Just talked with both crew chiefs, and unlike the Pro Stock guys who thought the track got a little slippery at the top end of the racetrack for them, these two teams are extremely confident that the racetrack will hold all their power. An 09 to a 10 in the last round, but both teams figure the car that gets off the starting line without having any problem, that's that, without smoking the tires or without shattering the tires, is the team that's going to win this thing. Force and Pedregon, watch this, the key right on the starting line. Larry Meyer's done a magnificent job with that race car all weekend long, and right now it'll be probably in the 5-0s to win this one. Brock?
Okay, Bob, everything just about ready to go as we watch Austin Coyle moving his man John Force into line. Remember, Austin not only has won world championships with Force, but with Frank Hawley in 82 and 83. Steve, let's go to the race.
Well, the perfect scenario for John Force in the near lane would be to not only win this round, but to set a new national record. That would be a harvest of 400 Winston points. His fans are riding with him. And Pedregon smokes the tires. Force smokes the tires. Force comes close to the wall. Force may have hit the wall. And it's Pedregon across the mark. Oh, you want drama. A 776, but who cares the elapsed time? They slugged it out. They beat each other up all the way down the quarter mile. The Larry Meyer Motorsports crew has gone crazy. Crew chief Larry Meyer, that wasn't how he wanted it to win it, but he'll take it. Bob Fry is with him. Bob?
Larry, they all look like line drives in the box score.
We'll take it however we can get it, I guess. It's not pretty, but we love it.
Guess you couldn't tell who won. You saw the win light through the smoke.
We couldn't see nothing. I didn't know what happened.
Just a magnificent win, and you guys are really hot.
I'm sorry that the fans didn't get to see two side-by-side runs, but like I say, we'll take them any way we can get them.
I'll tell you what, they sure enjoyed that. Brock, let's take a look at that thing again.
Unbelievable, Bob Fry. It looked more like a short track stock car race, maybe even a demolition derby. Never seen a drag race quite like this one. Here's our first angle, Force in the near lane. Pedregon immediately smokes the tires and heads toward the fence. He straightens out as Force goes sideways, almost clips the wall, up against the fence there. Here comes Pedregon charging through as Force continues to wigwag down the racetrack. I am not sure any drag race has been this spectacular. Unbelievable. Here's Force nicking the wall, and that, of course, that practically eliminates him as Pedregon goes on to victory in an unbelievable drag race. Let's get on to Steve with the winner.
Well, Brock, down here at the far end, I can still hear the fans screaming. It wasn't quick, it wasn't fast, but what a show.
Steve, it wasn't pretty, but we won, you know.
Describe it.
Well, our car blew the tires off. We overpowered the track. We were wanting to set the national record in the final round, and, you know, we just overpowered the track, and I felt it go away, and I thought, oh, it's over. Then I looked over, and I saw John having trouble, so I just did everything I could. I did everything I could, throttle on, brake. I was out of control, but I didn't hit a wall across center line, and we got there first. We won. Doesn't matter how, but we won.
Were you even watching for us, or did you care? You had your own problems.
Well, once I saw he was having trouble, I was on a mission to get to the finish line first. And you know, these cars, if you smoke the tires early, the momentum's not there. So pedaling is, I would only do that in that situation, the qualifying run or something like that. You take a chance breaking a drive shaft, hitting the wall. But yeah, once I saw him have a problem, I just went. I said, get to the finish line however you can.
You earned your driving stripes today, believe me, young man.
Well, I got to keep up with the crew. I have the best crew, McDonald's, Larry Miner, Coca-Cola, Vintage Design. Couldn't be happier.
All right, let's go back to Brock.
Well, Steve, keep in mind that these men were riding 5,000 horsepower short wheelbase automobiles in an unbelievable display of both courage and skills. Here is the points as it stands after that race. Pedregon, of course, pads it over John Force with one race remaining and perhaps has put the championship away. Steve?
Well, Brock, there's one race remaining here in our live coverage from the Motorplex, and that, of course, we're looking at John Force here right now. John Force is still in the race car, and apparently in a bit of shock after what he's been through here. He may have tagged the wall just a little bit. Yes, there is a stripe on the left-hand side of the race car. We'll go down here and check this out. NHRA Safety Safari, as always, is right on the scene. And John may have tagged this wall a little bit harder than we thought. Sometimes it's not how hard you hit it, but the angle that you hit it. John is coming out of the car now, and he appears to be a bit shook up, as you can well see. Force was out cold, they tell me, when they got here. He was unconscious. They have now revived him. We're not going to attempt to talk to him for obvious reasons. But John Force appears to be coming around and looking okay. All right, John's all right, we can tell. He made eye contact with us. We'll be right back with the Top Fuel final. Who could top that funny car, Barry? Stay with us. We'll be back on TNN Live. We're back live from Dallas. Again, John Force is okay, and Cruz Pedregon is getting better by the minute. Here is Lita Jones of Sales and Promotion Manager and Kenny Cason, Director of Advertising and Public Affairs for Cheap Auto Parts Stores, one of the largest and most shopped auto parts chains in the world. And those people have been involved with the Motorplex and with NHRA drag racing for many years, and they have better time than anybody else, I think. Okay, here's what the Top Fuel drivers had to say just before we went to, well, I guess we don't have the tape, but you're looking right here at Ed McCullough. Ed McCullough won just 2 weeks ago in Topeka. He won his first ever Top Fuel title on Labor Day weekend in Indianapolis, the U.S. Nationals. That made him a 6-time winner of that event. Here is Eddie Hill. And he told me after the semifinal rounds, he says, I've got so many Texas fans here. He's from Wichita Falls, Texas. Said, I'm afraid they may tear the grandstands down if I win. Brock did talk to both of them earlier.
Well, Eddie, I suppose you could say that it's kind of home court advantage. This is sort of your home racetrack, and you got lane choice, but you're going against the ace. So how do you feel you're going to be able to react with all this pressure on you for the home fans rooting for you, and obviously a good feeling about running so well today so far?
Well, it feels good so far. I'm obviously going to need to leave on time, and the car's going to need to repeat or improve a little. It ought to be an excellent race. At this point, it looks like it could go either way. But we feel good with lane choice, and the home court advantage probably doesn't hurt.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that Eddie Hill's kind of got home court advantage here being a Texan, and of course he's got lane choice. But obviously the McDonald's team's got some advantages they bring to the party too. What are they?
Well, Brock, I believe that we've won here as much as Eddie has, and you know the track's gonna get better later in the day here. I think we got a fine shot at it.
Now that was recorded before they saw the funny cars smoke the tires, both of them, and that classic battle to the finish between John Force and Cruz Pedregon. Will that spook either one of these drivers? They're in Top Fuel cars. They have more weight over the rear axle, a big rear wing for downforce. What do you think, Brock? Would that bother them a bit?
Well, I'll tell you what, if there are two unshakable men in this sport, it's these guys, Steve. They've been around for years and years and years, and just excellent drivers, very steady hands as we watch Eddie Hill and Fuzzy Carter get ready to do his burnout. Keep in mind, though, that's Larry Minor, the owner of Ace McCullough's car. And remember now, those guys have been in the finals with both automobiles, Pedregon's and this car here, the Top Fuel car, 4 times in the late stages of this season, and they've won 3 of them. So they're looking, that's a double win for both the funny car and the Top Fuel car. So I would imagine they feel pretty confident. What do you think, Bob Fry? How's the track looking right now?
I asked both crew chiefs if they thought the smoke on the tires in that funny car final was a result of the cars or the track. They both laughed out loud. Fuzzy Carter told me, you got to be kidding. Those 2 cars were so loaded up, there was no way they weren't going to smoke the tires. On the other side of the track, Lee Beard just chuckled, rolled his eyes around and said, those guys were so pumped up and so loaded up, they tried to turn the world. Of course, you know what happens when you try to do that. Something's got to give, and it's usually the tires. Both crew chiefs said that will not happen here in Top Fuel. They've got their cars set to run those 480 combinations we've seen all day long. Do not expect to see tire smoke here in the finals of Top Fuel Eliminator.
Well, the funny car finalists, there was more at stake than a $30,000 event prize, over $150,000 for the Winston Championship. But here, I think you're absolutely right. These are 2 very smart racers. As the sun goes down, do you love the nitro flames looking as high as the tall wings on these cars? The fans definitely getting their money's worth here at the Cheap Auto Parts Nationals. Pre-staging, Ed McCullough, Eddie Hill, they're gone. And Eddie Hill has problems right off the mark. Ed McCullough is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, 4.795, the quickest ride of Ed McCullough's life. Very close to a new national record, just a few thousandths away from that. Bob Fry, go.
Unbelievable performance, 4.79.
I'll tell you, it was an outstanding day of racing here at the Texas Motorplex. The McDonald's team, both the funny car and the Top Fuel team, did a superb job of preparing these cars. We can't tell you how happy we are to have a victory here at the Motorplex.
Do you guys have to double up all the time? Is that a rule?
Well, I'll tell you what, we represent one really great corporation. There's a lot of people that work for it. And when we win these races, we like to dedicate it to all those people that sell those hamburgers out of those stores.
Just a magnificent job today by the whole team. Steve?
Well, Ed McCullough is a real warrior. He was in all those years in funny cars and in Top Fuel. And you like a throat-ripping win, right?
Every time.
How about a 4.79? Is that good enough?
All right. That's wonderful, Steve. Sitting there watching my teammate Cruz and John Force and his team, you know, they both went out, smoked the tires, pedal at the end. We all saw that. We were ready. My crew chief, Lee Beard, what a job the guy does. He's so consistent. He's got a grasp on this deal.
This car had to be like riding a rocket ship. The wheels in the air.
Well, we love it to go out there, get the front end up a little bit, carry it on out there, and let's go.
All right, here is Brock Yates with the points.
Well, Steve, the 3 leaders, Amato, Bernstein, and McClenathan, go out early. McCullough and Hill move up just a little bit, but the outside chance for victory in the championship. Back to you, Steve.
Well, all in all, Brock, it's been just one heck of a day. And there you see Eddie Hill and Ed McCullough. Oh, they're both celebrating, really. A good, safe day for them. For all of us here at American Sports Cavalcade, thanks for joining us live from the Motorplex in Dallas. We had a ball at the Cheap Auto Parts Nationals. Ed McCullough, the Top Fuel champion. Cruz Pedregon in funny car, Bob Glidden in Pro Stock.
This special presentation of American Sports Cavalcade has been brought to you by Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by this exclusive offer from Diamond P Sports.
The year 1992 in NHRA drag racing will long be remembered for one thing: 300 miles an hour. But Kenny Bernstein's record run is only part of the red-hot action. And Drag Racing 92 brings you all the excitement, drama, and intensity of this record-shattering year in one dynamic video. Bernstein, Eddie Hill, and Don Prudhomme chase Joe Amato's 3-year-long Top Fuel title. John Forrest fights off the advances on his 20-car title by Cruz Pedregon and Al Hoffman. And in Pro Stock, Jerry Ekman and Warren Johnson wage a seesaw battle for the crown. Call 1-800-532-8989 to put your phone order in. Reserve now and receive a free Diamond P Sports hat for a limited time. Reserve now, 1-800-532-8989.
Live coverage of the 1992 Chief Auto Parts Nationals has been a production of Diamond P Sports and a presentation of the Nashville Network.